The bridge of the TN's horizon was quiet. The soft hum of machines filled the air. Blue lights blinked on control panels. Stars moved slowly past the large windows at the front of the ship. Admiral Yuna stood with her hands behind her back. She watched the endless darkness of space. Her black hair was tied back in a neat bun. Her uniform was perfect, not a single wrinkle. She had served in the Terran Navy for 23 years. She had seen many things, but space still amazed her. "Admiral," a voice called from behind her. Yuna turned around. Tejo, her second-in-command, walked toward her. He was a tall man with broad shoulders. His face was serious, but his eyes were kind. He held a tablet in his hands. "What is it?" Yuna asked. "We picked up something strange," Tejo said. He handed her the tablet. A signal. Very weak. It came from Sector 742. Yuna looked at the screen. Numbers and lines moved across it. She was not a technical expert, but she understood enough. The signal was repeating. Over and over again. The same pattern. "What kind of signal?" she asked. "It looks like a distress call," Tejo said, "but not one we recognize. The language is unknown. The frequency is different from anything in our records." Yuna felt something stir in her chest. Curiosity. Concern. She looked up at Tejo. "How far?" she asked. "About 6 hours at full speed," he replied. "But Admiral, Sector 742 is uncharted. We have no information about that area. No maps. No reports. Nothing." Yuna nodded slowly. She knew what he was saying. Going there was a risk. The Terran fleet had rules about uncharted space. They were supposed to report unknown signals and wait for orders. That could take days. Weeks even, but someone out there was calling for help. "Prepare the fleet," Yuna said. "We're going." Tejo's eyes widened slightly. "Admiral, protocol says." "I know what protocol says," Yuna interrupted. Her voice was calm but firm. "But there's someone in trouble. We don't leave people behind, even if we don't know who they are." Tejo stared at her for a moment. Then he nodded. A small smile appeared on his face. "Yes, Admiral," he said. "I'll give the orders." He walked away quickly. Yuna turned back to the window. The stars seemed brighter now, more alive. She took a deep breath. This was why she had joined the Navy. Not for power, not for glory, but for moments like this. To help those who needed it. The fleet consisted of 5 ships. The Horizon was the largest, the flagship. Behind it flew the Aurora, the Tempest, the Shield, and the Brave. Together, they carried over 3,000 crew members. Engineers, doctors, soldiers, pilots. All of them trained. All of them ready. 6 hours later, they arrived at Sector 7-4-2. At first, there was nothing. Just empty space. More stars. More darkness. The crew watched their screens carefully. Everyone was tense. No one knew what to expect. Then Hannah spoke up. She was the communications officer. A young woman with short hair and sharp eyes. She sat at her station with headphones on. "Admiral," she said, "the signal is stronger here. Much stronger. It's coming from there." She pointed at the main screen. Yuna looked. At first, she saw nothing. Then, slowly, something appeared in the distance. A shape. Large and dark. "Zoom in," Yuna ordered. The image grew larger. Everyone on the bridge went silent. It was a ship. But not like any ship they had ever seen. It was massive. Bigger than the Horizon. Bigger than all 5 Terran ships put together. Its design was strange. Curved and smooth. No sharp edges. It looked almost alive. like a giant creature sleeping in space. But something was wrong. Parts of the ship were damaged. Holes covered its surface. Lights flickered on and off. Smoke or gas leaked from several places. The ship was dying. What happened to it? Taeho whispered. I don't know, Yuna said. But whoever is inside is still alive. They're still sending that signal. She made her decision quickly. Hana, try to make contact, she said. Use all frequencies. Let them know we're here to help. Hana nodded and went to work. Her fingers moved fast across her panel. She spoke into her microphone. Different languages. Different codes. She tried everything. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Then, suddenly, the main screen flickered. Static filled the image. Then a face appeared. Yuna felt her breath catch in her throat. The face was not human dot. It was pale blue, almost white. The skin looked smooth like glass. Two large eyes, completely black, stared at the camera. The creature had no nose that Yuna could see. Just a small mouth. Thin and straight. The alien's mouth moved. It spoke, but the words were strange. Clicks and whistles mixed with soft sounds. Yuna could not understand any of it. Translation program, she said quickly. Now, the ship's computer worked fast. It analyzed the sounds. It looked for patterns. After a long moment, words appeared on the screen. The translation was rough. Not perfect, but it was enough. Please. No harm. We surrender, please. Yuna's heart sank. The alien was begging. It was afraid, terrified. They think we're going to attack them, Taeho said quietly. I know, Yuna replied. She stepped forward. Hana, open a channel. Let me speak to them. Hana nodded. Channel open, Admiral. Yuna looked directly at the screen, at the frightened alien face. She spoke slowly and clearly. We are humans, she said. From Earth. We received your distress signal. We are not here to hurt you. We are here to help. Do you understand? We want to help. The alien stared at her. Its large black eyes blinked several times. Then it turned and spoke to someone off-screen. More clicks and whistles. A conversation was happening. Yuna waited. Finally, the alien turned back. The translation program worked again. You. Humans? Deathworlders? From the poison planet? Yuna frowned. She looked at Taeho. He shrugged. Neither of them understood. We are from Earth, Yuna repeated. If that is what you mean, then yes. We are humans. The alien's reaction was immediate. Its eyes grew even wider. It moved backward, away from the camera. Fear covered its face. Pure, complete fear. Deathworlders, it said again. Why? Why come? We have nothing. We are broken. Please, go away. Leave us. We are not enemy. Yuna held up her hands. A gesture of peace. Listen to me, she said. We heard your call for help. That is the only reason we came. We don't want to fight. We don't want to take anything. We just want to help you. Your ship is damaged. You are hurt. Let us help. The alien did not respond at first. It just stared at her, studying her, trying to understand. On the bridge, no one moved. No one spoke. Everyone watched the screen. Then another alien appeared next to the first one. This one looked older. Its skin was darker blue. It moved slowly, like it was in pain. You speak truth? The older alien asked. Its voice was deeper, more tired. Deathworlders help? Not kill? Not destroy? We speak truth, Yuna said. I give you my word. We are not your enemies. A long silence followed. Yuna could hear her own heartbeat in her ears. Finally, the older alien nodded, slowly, carefully. "Come," it said. "Please, help us. Many hurt, many dying. Ship broken. Cannot fly. Cannot run." Yuna felt relief wash over her, but also something else. Determination. "We will send a team to your ship," she said. "Doctors, engineers, they will help you. I promise." The alien nodded again. Then the screen went dark. Yuna turned to face her crew. Every eye was on her. "You heard them," she said. "They need us. Commander Hannah, I want you to lead the rescue team. Take our best doctors and engineers. Find out what they need. Give them whatever help you can." Hannah stood up straight. Her face was serious. "Yes, Admiral. I won't let you down." "I know you won't," Yuna said. "Be careful. We don't know anything about this species. Their air might be different. Their gravity. Anything. Take all precautions." "Understood," Hannah said. She left the bridge quickly. Other crew members followed her. The ship came alive with activity. People ran through hallways. Equipment was prepared. Medical supplies were gathered. Tejo walked up to Yuna. "Do you think this is wise?" he asked quietly. "We know nothing about them. They called us Deathworlders. That doesn't sound friendly." Yuna looked at him. "They called us that because they're afraid of us, not because they want to fight. You saw their faces. They expected us to attack, to kill them. And instead, we offered help." She paused. Her voice became softer. "Maybe that's exactly what the galaxy needs right now. Someone to show them that Deathworlders aren't monsters. That humans know how to be kind." Tejo was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "You always know the right thing to say, Admiral." "I just say what I believe," Yuna replied. "Now come on. We have work to do." She walked toward the door. Tejo followed. Outside the window, the damaged alien ship drifted silently. Inside it, thousands of injured aliens waited, hoped, feared. They had called for help, never expecting anyone to answer. But the humans had come, and everything was about to change. The shuttle bay of the horizon was full of activity. Soldiers checked their weapons. Doctors prepared medical bags. Engineers loaded tools onto the small transport ship. Hannah stood in the middle of it all. She wore a protective suit. It was white and thick. It would keep her safe from unknown air, unknown germs, unknown dangers. Her team wore the same suits. 20 people in total. The best the fleet had to offer. "Listen up," Hannah said loudly. Everyone stopped and looked at her. "We're about to board an alien vessel. First contact situation. None of us have ever done this before. So we follow the rules. We stay calm. We stay friendly. These people are scared and hurt. Our job is to help them, not to make things worse. Understood?" "Yes, Commander," the team replied together. Hannah nodded. "Good. Let's move." They climbed into the shuttle. The door closed behind them. Hannah sat in the front, next to the pilot. His name was June. He was young, barely 25, but he was the best pilot on the ship. "Ready?" June asked. "Ready," Hannah said. The shuttle lifted off the floor. It moved toward the bay doors. The doors opened slowly, revealing the darkness of space. Then they were out, flying toward the massive alien ship. Up close, the damage was even worse. Hannah could see burn marks on the hull, deep cuts in the metal. Some areas were completely destroyed, open to space. Whatever had attacked this ship had been brutal. What could do this much damage? June whispered. "I don't know," Hannah replied, "but I don't want to find out." They flew around the ship, looking for a safe place to land. Finally, they found a docking area. It was small but intact. June guided the shuttle inside. They landed with a soft bump. "Air reading," Hana said. One of her team members, a scientist named Subin, checked her equipment. "Atmosphere is breathable," Subin reported. "Oxygen levels are a bit lower than Earth, but within safe range. Temperature is cold, about 5 degrees. No dangerous gases detected." "Good," Hana said. "Keep your helmets on anyway. We don't know what diseases might be here." The team agreed. They picked up their equipment and moved toward the shuttle. Hana was the first to step out. The inside of the alien ship was strange. The walls were curved, like being inside a giant egg. The material was smooth and white. Blue lights ran along the floor, providing the only illumination. Everything felt soft, organic, like the ship was a living creature. "This is beautiful," Subin whispered. "Focus," Hana said. But she agreed. It was beautiful. They walked down the corridor. Their footsteps echoed in the empty space. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. Then they heard it. A sound, soft and scared. Coming from ahead, Hana raised her hand. The team stopped. She listened carefully. The sound came again. It was crying. Someone was crying. "Stay here," Hana said to her team. "I'll go first." She walked forward slowly. Her heart beat fast in her chest. She turned a corner and stopped. In front of her was a room. A large open space. And inside were aliens. Hundreds of them. They were huddled together in groups. Some lay on the floor, injured and bleeding. Others sat against walls, their eyes empty and tired. Children clung to their parents. Everyone was scared. And when they saw Hana, the fear grew worse. Screams filled the air. Aliens scrambled backward, away from her. Parents grabbed their children and held them tight. Some tried to run but were too weak. They fell to the ground, crying. "Please." One of them shouted. "Please, no. Don't hurt us." Hana's heart broke. She quickly knelt down. She made herself smaller, less threatening. She held up her hands, showing she had no weapons. "It's okay," she said softly. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. I'm here to help." The aliens stared at her. Their black eyes were wide with terror. They didn't believe her. Why would they? To them, she was a Deathworlder, a monster from a deadly planet. A predator. Hana looked around the room. She saw the injured, the sick, the dying. She saw children with broken limbs, adults with burns covering their bodies. They needed help, desperately. She turned and called to her team. "Doctors, get in here now." Her team rushed in. The aliens screamed again, trying to move away. But Hana raised her voice. "Stop. Everyone, stop." Her team froze. The aliens froze. Everything went silent. Hana spoke clearly. "We are humans. We came because we heard your call for help. We are doctors and engineers. We have medicine. We have supplies. We want to help your injured. Please, let us help." An older alien stepped forward. It was the same one from the video call, the one with the darker blue skin. It walked slowly, leaning on a younger alien for support. "You speak truth?" the elder asked. Its voice shook. "Deathworlders help others? This is not our experience. This is not what we know. What do you know about us?" Hana asked gently. The elder was quiet for a moment. Then it spoke. "Deathworlders come from poison planets. Worlds with crushing gravity. Worlds with deadly air. Dangerous water. Monsters everywhere. Only the strongest survive. You are predators, hunters, killers. Every species in the galaxy knows this. Every species fears you." Hana listened carefully. She understood now. Earth must seem terrible to these aliens. The heavy gravity, the harsh weather, the predators and diseases. To survive on Earth, humans had to be tough, strong, dangerous. But that wasn't all they were. It's true, Hannah said. Our planet is dangerous. We had to fight to survive. But that's not all we learned. We also learned to help each other, to protect the weak, to care for the sick. We became strong so we could protect those who couldn't protect themselves. The elder stared at her, studying her. You expect us to believe this? It asked. Hannah stood up. She walked toward the nearest injured alien, a child, small and pale. Its leg was broken. It was crying softly. The child's parent jumped in front of Hannah, blocking her way. The parent's arms spread wide, protecting its child. No, the parent said. No, stay away. Hannah stopped. She looked at the parent. She saw the fear in its eyes. But she also saw something else. Love. This parent would die to protect its child. Hannah felt tears in her eyes. I have a daughter, she said quietly. Back on Earth. Her name is Yuri. She's 6 years old. If she was hurt, I would do anything to save her. Anything. She pointed at the child behind the parent. Your child is hurt. I can see the pain. I can see the fear. Please, let my doctors help. Let us fix the leg. Stop the pain. Save your child. The parent stared at Hannah. Its whole body trembled. Long seconds passed. Then, slowly, the parent stepped aside. Hannah nodded. She turned to her medical team. Dongjun, she called. A young doctor stepped forward. He had a gentle face and calm eyes. Help the child. Carefully. Dongjun walked over slowly. He knelt beside the child. His movements were soft, gentle. He opened his medical bag and took out equipment. The child watched him with wide eyes. Scared, but curious. Hello, Dongjun said softly. My name is Dongjun. I'm a doctor. I'm going to help your leg feel better. Is that okay? The child didn't answer. It probably didn't understand. But Dongjun kept talking anyway. His voice was calm and warm. He examined the leg. Then he took out a small device. He pressed it against the child's leg. This might feel cold, he said, but it won't hurt. I promise. A blue light came from the device. The child made a small sound. Not pain. Surprise. The device was numbing the area. Stopping the pain. Then Dongjun worked on the leg. He set the bone. He wrapped it in a special cast. The whole process took 10 minutes. When he was done, the child moved its leg. No pain. The child's eyes went wide with wonder. The parent fell to its knees. Tears ran down its blue face. Thank you, the parent whispered. Thank you. Thank you. The other aliens watched. They saw what happened. They saw the human help the child. They saw the kindness, the care. Something changed in the room. The fear didn't disappear completely, but it became less. A tiny bit of trust appeared. Hannah addressed the room. We have 20 doctors and engineers with us, she said. We can help more of you. Please, let us work. Let us heal your wounded. Fix your ship. We ask for nothing in return. This is what humans do. We help. The elder alien stepped forward again. It looked at Hannah with new eyes. Still cautious. Still uncertain. But also hopeful. The stories are wrong, the elder said softly. The stories say Deathworlders are monsters. But you are not monsters. We can be, Hannah admitted, when we need to be, when someone threatens those we care about. But right now, you don't need warriors. You need helpers. So that's what we are. The elder nodded slowly. Help us, it said. Please, many are dying. Our doctors are dead. Our medicine is gone. We have nothing left. Hana didn't hesitate. Everyone, she called to her team. Spread out. Find the injured. Start treatment immediately. Prioritize the worst cases first. Move! Her team sprang into action. Doctors ran to different corners of the room. They knelt beside injured aliens. They opened medical bags. They began working. Engineers headed deeper into the ship. They needed to find the damage. Fix what they could. Get the life support systems working properly. Hannah stayed in the main room. She helped where she could. She held equipment for doctors. She talked to frightened aliens. She told them it would be okay. Hours passed. The work continued. Dongjun saved 7 lives that night. A young alien with internal bleeding. An elder whose heart had stopped. A child who couldn't breathe. Other doctors did the same. They used human medicine on alien bodies. It wasn't perfect. They had to guess sometimes. But they tried. And most of the time, it worked. By morning, the mood in the ship had changed completely. Aliens who had been terrified now watched the humans with wonder. Some even approached them. Offered thaw. 3 days passed. The human teams worked without rest. Doctors treated hundreds of injured aliens. Engineers repaired critical systems. The alien ship, which had been dying, slowly came back to life. Admiral Yuna visited the ship herself on the 2nd day. She walked through the corridors with Taeho at her side. Everywhere she looked, she saw humans and aliens working together, talking, learning, helping each other. It was beautiful. The elder alien, whose name was Ven, met with Yuna in what remained of the ship's command center. The room was damaged but functional. Broken screens had been replaced with human equipment. The lights worked again. Admiral, Ven said, bowing its head, your people have done more for us in 3 days than we dared hope. We owe you our lives. You owe us nothing, Yuna replied. This is what we do. We help those in need. Ven studied her face. 3 days ago, this alien had been terrified of humans. Now, there was respect in its eyes, wonder, and something else. Something heavier. We must talk, Ven said. About what happened to us. About why we sent that signal. Yuna nodded. She had been waiting for this conversation. The aliens had been attacked. That much was clear. But by who and why? Tell me, Yuna said. What happened? Ven walked to a broken window. Outside, stars shone in the darkness. The alien's reflection looked old, tired, sad. We are the Valori, Ven began. A peaceful people. We do not fight. We do not make war. For 10,000 years, we have traveled the stars, trading, learning, sharing knowledge. We have friends in many systems, enemies in none. Ven paused. Its hands trembled slightly until the Keth came. Yuna felt a chill run down her spine. The way Ven said that name, Keth, there was fear in that word. Deep, ancient fear. Who are the Keth? Yuna asked. Ven turned to face her. Its black eyes were filled with pain. The Keth are a swarm. A hive. They do not think like you or me. They do not want trade or knowledge. They want only one thing. To consume. To grow. To spread. Ven walked to a console. It pressed several buttons. A hologram appeared in the air. An image. Yuna stared at it. The creature in the hologram was terrible. Insect-like, with a hard black shell. 6 legs, 2 arms. A head covered in sharp spines. Its eyes were red and empty. No intelligence. No mercy. Just hunger. This is a Keth drone, Ven said. They are the workers. The soldiers. There are millions of them. Perhaps billions. No one knows for sure. Behind every drone is the hive, a central mind that controls them all. Like ants, Tejo said quietly. Or bees. Yes, Ven agreed. But much worse. The Keth do not build hives on planets. They build them in ships. Giant vessels, each one carrying hundreds of thousands of drones. They move from system to system. They find inhabited worlds. They attack. They kill everything. They take all the resources. Then they move on. Yuna felt sick. How many worlds have they destroyed? We do not know, Ven said. Hundreds. Perhaps thousands. They've been doing this for longer than our people can remember. Species have disappeared completely. Entire civilizations erased from the galaxy. No one has ever stopped them. Someone must have fought back, Yuna said. Many have tried, Ven replied. All have failed. The Keth are too many. They feel no pain. They fear nothing. They never retreat. They never surrender. They just keep coming, wave after wave, until nothing is left. The hologram changed. Now it showed a battle. Alien ships fighting against dark vessels. Explosions filled the screen. But one by one, the alien ships were destroyed. The dark ships kept coming, endless, unstoppable. This was the Battle of Vorn, Ven said. 300 years ago. The Vorn people were great warriors. They had the largest fleet in the sector. 10,000 ships. They thought they could defeat the Keth. Ven's voice dropped to a whisper. They killed over 1 million drones. But it was not enough. The Keth overwhelmed them. The Vorn are gone now. Their planet is a dead rock. Their people exist only in our memories. Yuna stared at the hologram. Her mind raced. And the Keth attacked your ship? She asked. Yes, Ven said. We were traveling through open space, going to a trade meeting. Then they appeared. One of their swarm ships. It was huge. Bigger than anything I had ever seen. They attacked without warning. Without reason. We tried to run. But our engines were damaged in the first strike. We drifted here. Sent our distress signal. Waited to die. Ven looked at Yuna. Then you came. Deathworlders from a poison planet. We thought you would finish what the Keth started. Instead, you saved us. Yuna was quiet for a moment. She thought about everything Ven had said. The Keth. The swarm. The endless destruction. Where's the Keth ship now? She asked. Ven's face became even more afraid. That is what I must tell you, the alien said. Our sensors were damaged, but we repaired them yesterday. We scanned the area around us. Ven pressed more buttons. The hologram changed again. Now it showed a map. Stars and planets. And something else. A red dot. Moving slowly. The Keth ship is still in this sector, Ven said. It is coming back. Coming to finish us. Yuna felt her blood run cold. How long? She asked. 6 hours, Ven replied. Maybe less. Silence filled the room. Tejo stepped forward. Admiral, we need to leave. Now. Get our people back to our ships and run. No. Yuna said immediately. Admiral, I said no. Yuna's voice was firm, hard. We are not leaving these people. But the Keth, Tejo said. You heard what Ven said. No one has ever beaten them. Our fleet is 5 ships. 5. Against a swarm that destroyed 10,000. I heard, Yuna said. I also heard that no one ever helped these people before. No one ever stood with them. Maybe that's why they always lost. Because they were always alone. She turned to Ven. We're staying, she said. We will fight beside you. Ven stared at her. Shock covered its face. You cannot, Ven said. You will die. All of you. The Keth cannot be stopped. Everyone keeps saying that, Una replied. Maybe it's time someone proved them wrong. She activated her communicator. This is Admiral Una to all ships. We have a situation. An enemy force is approaching. I need all commanders in the conference room in 30 minutes. This is not a drill. She closed the channel and looked at Ven. Tell me everything about the Keth, she said. How they fight. How they think. Any weaknesses at all. I don't care how small. Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Ven hesitated. Then, slowly, the alien nodded. There is much to tell, Ven said. But I will share what I know, for whatever good it may do. For the next hour, Ven talked. And Una listened. She learned about the Keth swarm ships. How they were built. How they moved. She learned about the drones. Their weapons. Their tactics. She learned about the hive mind. How it controlled everything. And she learned about the one weakness the Keth had. The hive mind is powerful, Ven explained. It can control millions of drones at once. But all that control comes from one place. The hive ship. The central vessel. The brain of the swarm. And if we destroy it? Una asked. The drones become confused, lost. Without the hive, they cannot organize. They attack randomly or flee. But no one has ever gotten close enough to the hive ship. It stays in the back, protected by thousands of drones, surrounded by smaller ships. It is impossible to reach. Una smiled slightly. Nothing is impossible, she said. In the conference room of the horizon, the commanders of all 5 ships gathered. Hana was there too, having returned from the Valori ship. They sat around a large table. Their faces were serious, worried. Una stood at the head of the table. You all know the situation, she said. An enemy called the Keth is coming. They've destroyed countless civilizations, killed billions. They've never been defeated. She paused. They've also never faced humans before. The commanders exchanged looks. Some were scared. Some were uncertain. But all of them were listening. The Valori have told us everything they know, Una continued. The Keth have a weakness. Their hive ship. Destroy it, and the swarm falls apart. Our mission is simple. Get to that ship and take it out. Teho spoke up. Admiral, the hive ship will be heavily protected. How do we get through? We don't, Una said. Not all of us. One ship will break through the lines. The others will cover it. Keep the drones busy. Create a path, a suicide mission, Hana said quietly. No, Una replied. A difficult mission, but not impossible. Humans have faced worse odds before. We survived ice ages, plagues, world wars. We came from a planet that tried to kill us every day. And we're still here. She looked around the room. At each face, the galaxy thinks we're monsters, Deathworlders, killers. Maybe it's time we showed them what that really means. Not mindless destruction, but the strength to stand against the darkness. To protect those who can't protect themselves. To fight when everyone else has given up. She placed her hands on the table. I won't lie to you. This will be the hardest fight of our lives. Some of us might not make it. But if we run, these Valori die. And then the next species. And the next. Until there's no one left. Her voice became quieter. More personal. I'm not going to let that happen. Not while I can still fight. If any of you want to leave, I won't stop you. This is a volunteer mission. But I'm staying, and I'm going to show the Keth what a Deathworlder really is. Silence filled the room. Then Teho stood up. I'm with you, Admiral. All the way. Hannah stood next. Me too. One by one, every commander rose. Every single one. No one left. Una felt pride swell in her chest. Then let's get to work, S. The alarm screamed through every ship in the fleet. Red lights flashed. Crew members ran to their stations. The waiting was over. Admiral, an officer called from her console. Multiple contacts detected. Coming in fast. Una stood on the bridge of the horizon. Her face was calm. Her heart was steady. She had prepared for this moment. How many? She asked. The officer's voice shook slightly. Over 5,000 contacts. Small vessels, fighters, and behind them. She paused. Her face went pale. Something massive. The size of a small moon. Una looked at the main screen. The Keth had arrived. First came the drones. Thousands of small black ships, moving like insects. They swarmed across space in perfect formation. Behind them floated larger vessels, carriers, attack ships. And at the very back, barely visible in the darkness, was the hive ship. It was enormous. A twisted mass of metal and organic material, pulsing with dark energy. All ships. Report, Una said into her communicator. Aurora standing ready, came the first reply. Tempest armed and waiting. Shield in position. Brave ready to fight. Una nodded. Her fleet was tiny compared to the enemy. 5 ships against thousands. But she had a plan. Remember the strategy, she said. We hold the line. We draw them in. We make them come to us. And when the moment is right, the horizon breaks through. Everyone else covers us. Understood, Admiral. Una looked at Tatao. He stood beside her as always. His face was tense but determined. If this doesn't work, he started. It will work, Una interrupted. And even if it doesn't, we'll make them remember us. The Keth will know they fought humans today. Teho managed a small smile. That they will. The Keth swarm moved closer. Closer. The distance between them shrank rapidly. Una watched the numbers on her screen count down. All weapons online, she ordered. Shields to maximum. Wait for my command. The crew worked in focused silence. Everyone knew their job. Everyone was ready. The first wave of Keth drones entered firing range. Fire, Una said. The human ships lit up with weapon fire. Missiles launched. Energy beams cut through space. Railguns sent metal slugs at incredible speed. The first line of drones exploded. Then the second. Then the third. Human weapons tore through them like paper. But more came. Always more. For every drone destroyed, 10 took its place. The swarm kept advancing. Endless. They're surrounding us. An officer shouted. Stay in formation, Una commanded. Don't break. Keep firing. The battle became chaos. Explosions lit up the darkness in all directions. Keth drones crashed against human shields. Some got through. They landed on the ship's hulls and started cutting through. On the Aurora, Captain Jae-sung faced the first boarding. Keth drones crawled through holes they had made in the ship. Their red eyes glowed in the dark corridors. Boarding parties! Jae-sung yelled. All hands, repel boarders. Human soldiers met the drones with gunfire. The corridors filled with the sound of weapons and screaming. The Keth were fast and strong. Their claws could cut through armor. Their shells were hard to penetrate. But humans were Deathworlders. Private Mira, barely 20 years old, faced 3 drones alone when her squad was overwhelmed. She didn't run. She raised her rifle and fired. 1 drone fell. Then another. The third reached her. Its claws slashed her arm. She screamed but didn't stop fighting. She pulled out her knife and stabbed the creature in its eye. It collapsed at her feet. Bleeding and exhausted, she kept fighting. Because that's what humans did. On the Tempest, the shields failed. Energy blasts hit the hull directly. The ship shook violently. Fires broke out in multiple sections. We're losing power. Engineer soon reported. Captain Eon made a decision. Divert all energy to weapons. Everything. But Captain, life support. Do it. The Tempest's weapons blazed with power. It unleashed everything it had. Hundreds of drones died in seconds. But the ship was dying too. Air leaked from damaged sections. The temperature dropped, yet no one abandoned their posts. They kept fighting until they couldn't anymore. On the shield, Lieutenant Dongjun, who had been a doctor just days ago, now held a weapon. The medical bay had been breached. Drones were killing the wounded. He shot the first drone that came through the door. Then the second. When his weapon jammed, he used a metal tray as a shield and a surgical laser as a weapon. He fought like a demon. A drone grabbed his leg and pulled him down. He felt claws tear into his skin. But he didn't scream. He looked the creature in its red eyes and pressed the laser against its head. The drone died. He pulled himself up and kept fighting. Because there were patients to protect. Back on the horizon, Yuna watched the battle unfold. Her ships were taking heavy damage. They were outnumbered beyond any reasonable measure. But they were holding. Somehow, impossibly, they were holding. The Keth are focusing on us, Taeho reported. They're pulling drones from all directions, throwing everything at our fleet. Good, Yuna said. That means we're hurting them. She looked at the tactical display. The path to the hive ship was still blocked by hundreds of vessels. But it was thinner now. The Keth were so focused on destroying the human fleet that they were leaving gaps. Hannah, Yuna spoke into her communicator. Are you in position? On the Valori ship, Hannah stood in the restored command center. Around her, Valori engineers worked alongside humans. They had managed to get the ship's weapons online. Not much, but something. Ready, Admiral, Hannah replied. When I give the signal, fire everything at Sector 7. We need to punch a hole through their line. Understood. We won't let you down. Yuna turned to her helm officer. Prepare for full speed, she ordered. The moment that hole opens, we go through. No hesitation. No stopping. Yes, Admiral. The battle raged on. Minutes felt like hours. The shield took a critical hit and began drifting. The Brave lost half its crew to a boarding party. The Aurora was on fire but still shooting. And still, the humans fought. The Keth had never seen anything like it. Their drone mines, connected to the hive, reported confusion. These creatures would not die. They would not surrender. They kept fighting even when wounded. They protected each other with their bodies. They screamed in defiance even as they fell. The hive mind processed this information. It did not understand. Every species it had fought before had broken, had fled, had begged for mercy. These Deathworlders did none of those things. For the first time in thousands of years, the hive felt something new. Uncertainty. On the horizon, Yuna saw her moment. Now. She shouted. Hannah, now. The Valori ship fired. Its weapons were weaker than the human ones, but they had been aimed perfectly. The blast hit the Keth line exactly where it was thinnest. Drones exploded. A gap appeared. Small but real. Go. Yuna ordered. Maximum speed. The horizon lunged forward. Its engines screamed with power. It shot toward the gap like an arrow. Drones tried to block it. The horizon's guns cut them down. More came. The shields took hits. Warning lights flashed everywhere. Shield integrity at 40%. Taeho reported. Keep going. 30%. Keep going. The gap widened. The horizon broke through the first line. Then the second. The hive ship loomed ahead. Massive. Terrifying. But also closer. 20%. The ship shook from multiple impacts. A section of the hull breached. Emergency doors sealed automatically. 10%. Yuna didn't blink. Lock weapons on the hive ship, she said. Everything we have. Every missile. Every gun. Everything. Locked, Admiral. The hive ship grew larger on the screen. Details became visible. The organic surface. The pulsing veins of energy. The entrance points for thousands of drones. Fire. The horizon unleashed its full arsenal. Missiles streaked across the void. Energy beams blazed like artificial suns. Railgun rounds punched through space at incredible velocity. Everything hit the hive ship at once. For a moment, nothing happened. The massive vessel just sat there, absorbing the attack. Then cracks appeared on its surface. Light burst from within. Explosions rippled across its hull. The hive mind screamed dot. It was a psychic wave that every telepathic species in the sector felt. A cry of pain and disbelief. The central intelligence that had controlled millions of drones for millennia was dying. The hive ship broke apart. Massive chunks of metal and organic material scattered into space. The pulsing energy faded. The red glow disappeared. Across the battlefield, the effect was immediate. Drones that had been coordinated and deadly suddenly became confused. They flew in random directions. They crashed into each other. They attacked nothing. Some simply shut down and drifted. The human ships, damaged and exhausted, found themselves facing enemies that no longer knew how to fight. They're falling apart, Taiho said in disbelief. The swarm is falling apart. Yuna watched the chaos unfold. She should have felt triumph, victory. Instead, she felt tired. So deeply tired. Signal all ships, she said quietly. Cease fire. The battle is over. Over? Taiho asked. Admiral, there are still thousands of drones out there. They're not a threat anymore. Without the hive, they're just shells. They'll drift until they run out of power. Let them go. She sat down heavily in her chair. Her hands were shaking. She hadn't noticed until now. How many did we lose? She asked. Tae-Ho checked his reports. His face was grave. 347 confirmed dead. Over 600 wounded. The shield is adrift. The Brave barely has life support. The Tempest. He paused. The Tempest is gone, Admiral. She broke apart 20 minutes ago. We recovered some escape pods. Not all. Yuna closed her eyes. 347. Each one a person. A life. A family that would receive terrible knee. 1 week had passed since the battle. The human fleet drifted in space near the Valori ship. Repairs were underway. The dead had been honored. The wounded were healing, and the galaxy was watching. News of what happened spread faster than anyone expected. The Valori had sent messages to their trading partners. Those partners had told others. Within days, every spacefaring species in the sector knew the story. The Keth had been defeated. Not by a great empire. Not by an ancient civilization with unlimited resources. But by 5 ships from a small, unknown planet called Earth. Deathworlders. The word that had once meant monsters now meant something different. It meant hope. On the bridge of the horizon, Admiral Yuna stood before a holographic display. Multiple alien faces looked back at her. Representatives from 7 different species. All of them had contacted the fleet in the last 2 days. All of them wanted to talk. Let me understand correctly, said a tall gray alien with 4 eyes. Its species was called the Tarani. You destroyed the hive ship with a direct assault? Yes, Yuna replied simply. But that's impossible, the Tarani said. The Keth have ruled this region for 3,000 years. Dozens of species have tried to fight them. All failed. How did you succeed? Yuna thought about the question. She thought about Myra, the young soldier who fought 3 drones with a knife. She thought about Captain Yeon, who sacrificed his ship's life support to keep the weapons firing. She thought about Dong Jun, the doctor who became a warrior to protect his patients. We didn't give up, she said. That's all. We just refused to give up. The alien representatives were silent. They didn't quite understand. How could refusing to give up change anything? Surely there had to be more to it than that dot, but there wasn't. That was the secret of humanity. That simple, stubborn refusal to accept defeat. Another alien spoke. This one was small and blue, similar to the Valori but darker. A species called the Mirren. We have heard many things about Deathworlders, the Mirren said. Terrible things. That you are violent, dangerous, that you cannot be trusted. But the Valori tell a different story. They say you risked everything to save strangers. Why? Yuna smiled slightly. Because it was the right thing to do. The right thing? The Mirren seemed confused. You did not know the Valori. You had nothing to gain. You could have escaped safely. Why stay? Why fight? Why die for strangers? Yuna looked at the alien representatives, at their confused, curious faces. They genuinely didn't understand. And maybe that was the saddest thing of all. On our planet, Yuna said, we have a saying. No one should face the darkness alone. When we heard the Valori's call for help, we came. When we learned they were in danger, we stayed. Because that's who we are. Not monsters. Not mindless killers. Just people who believe that everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves someone to stand with them. She paused. The galaxy thinks Deathworlders are dangerous because we came from a harsh planet. And yes, Earth made us strong. It made us fighters. But it also taught us something else. It taught us that survival means nothing if you abandon your soul along the way. We became strong so we could protect others, not to destroy them. The holographic chamber fell silent. The alien representatives looked at each other. Something was changing in their eyes. The fear was still there, but it was mixed with something new. Respect. Admiral Yuna, the Tarani spoke again. Our people have lived in fear of the Keth for generations. We paid tribute to them, sacrificed our resources to keep them away. We thought there was no other choice. The alien leaned forward. You have shown us there is another way. We would like to discuss an alliance, a partnership between our species and yours. As would we, the Mirren added. The galaxy needs to change. Perhaps the Deathworlders can help us change it. One by one, the other representatives voiced similar interest. 7 species, all of them reaching out to humanity, all of them wanting to stand together. Yuna felt something warm in her chest, pride, hope, a sense that maybe, just maybe, something good had come from all the death and sacrifice. I will need to contact my government, she said. Earth has never had formal relations with other species. This will be new for everyone, but I believe they will agree. Humans don't like being alone, either. The meeting ended shortly after. The holographic displays faded. Yuna stood alone on the bridge, looking out at the stars. Tejo walked up beside her. 7 species, he said quietly. That's more allies than humanity has ever had. It's just the beginning, Yuna replied. Word will spread further. More species will hear what happened. Some will be curious. Some will be afraid. Some will want to be friends. Some might want to be enemies. And we'll face all of them, Tejo said. Together. Yuna nodded. Together. On the Valori ship, a different kind of gathering was happening. The survivors had come together in the largest open space on the vessel. Hundreds of them. Young and old. Healthy and still healing. Hana stood at the front with several other human crew members. They had been invited to this meeting. Honored guests at what the Valori called a ceremony of gratitude. Elder Ven stood before the crowd. The old alien looked stronger now than a week ago. Still tired. Still carrying weight. But also standing taller. Speaking clearer. My people, Ven said. We gathered here today to recognize those who saved us. 1 week ago, we were dying. Our ship was broken. Our families were wounded. Our hope was gone. We sent a call into the darkness, expecting no answer. Ven turned to look at Hana and the other humans. But someone answered. The Deathworlders came. And instead of ending us, they saved us. They healed our wounded. They fixed our ship. They fought and died to protect us from the Keth. The Valori in the crowd were silent. Many of them were crying. We owe them everything, Ven continued. Our lives. Our futures. The lives of our children and their children's children. This debt can never be repaid. But we can honor it. We can remember it. We can carry it forward. The elder reached into its robe and pulled out something small. A crystal. It glowed with soft blue light. This is a heartstone, Ven explained. The most sacred object in Valori culture. We give them only to those we consider family. Today, I give one to Commander Hana, and through her, to all of humanity. Ven walked forward and placed the crystal in Hana's hands. It was warm. Hana could feel energy pulsing through it. Like a heartbeat. From this day forward, Ven declared, the Deathworlders are not strangers. They are not outsiders. They are family. Our family. Now and forever. The Valori in the crowd began making a sound. A low humming that grew louder. It was their way of showing agreement. Their way of saying yes. Hana looked at the crystal in her hands. She looked at the hundreds of alien faces watching her. She thought about everything that had happened. The fear. The fighting. The dying. The hope. Thank you, she said. Her voice was thick with emotion. This means more than I can say. We came here because we heard you needed help. We stayed because we couldn't leave you alone. We fought because protecting people is what we do. She held up the crystal. This crystal will go back to Earth. It will be shown to our leaders. Our people. Everyone will know what it represents. And I promise you this. As long as humans travel the stars, the Valori will never be alone again. Your enemies are our enemies. Your struggles are our struggles. Your family is our family. The humming grew even louder. Some Valori were openly crying. Others were reaching out, touching the humans near them. Little Rin pushed through the crowd and ran up to Hana. Without hesitation, the child hugged her tight. You kept your promise, Rin said. You protected us. Hana knelt down and hugged back. Always, she whispered. That's what family does. Later that night, Hana sat alone on the observation deck of the horizon. The repair work was almost done. Soon the fleet would head back to Earth, back home. But she knew things would never be the same. The door opened behind her. Yuna walked in and sat down nearby. Can't sleep? The Admiral asked. Too much to think about, Hana replied. Everything that happened. Everything that's going to happen. Yuna nodded. I understand. I've been thinking too. About what comes next. About what humanity's role in the galaxy will be. Do you know? Yuna was quiet for a moment. Then she smiled. I think we'll be what we've always been. Helpers. Fighters. Protectors. The galaxy has so many species that are scared. Alone. Weak. They've never had anyone to stand with them. Maybe that's why we're here. Maybe that's our purpose. Hana looked out at the stars. Millions of them. Billions. each one possibly home to another species, another people, another story waiting to happen. It's a big responsibility, she said. Yes, Yuna agreed. But we're Deathworlders. We can handle it. They sat together in comfortable silence. Outside, the stars continued to shine. The universe continued to turn. And somewhere out there, species were waking up to a new reality. The humans had arrived, not as conquerors, not as destroyers, but as something the galaxy had never seen before. Hope. 1 year later, the Galactic Alliance was formally established. 12 species signed the founding document. Humanity stood at the center, not as rulers, but as friends, as partners, as the ones who had proven that standing together was stronger than standing alone. Admiral Yuna became the first human ambassador to the Alliance. She spent her days traveling between worlds, meeting